the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This is the regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Fairhaven. This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting was included in the scheduled meeting sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, the Hub, and the Star Ledger on January 9, 2020. Posted on the Bulletin, the Borough website, the Bulletin Board in the Municipal Building, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. In addition, copies of the above notice have been available to the public and are on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Allison, roll call, please.
Councilmembers Banahan. Christner Keith.
Here.
Here. McHugh.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Sorensen.
Here.
All right, so we received a notice in our packet from Monmouth County Clerk Christine Giordano Hanlon requesting that we put a resolution in commemorating the centennial of the ratification of the 19th Amendment. Thinking that was nice, but we could do better. We converted this resolution to a proclamation, and we requested the assistance of two young individuals, Ryan Rollins and Ella Little, 7th graders from Knollwood School, who are actually going to read this for us. So Ryan and Ella, if you could please come up here and all the way around and stand here. And I'd ask all the council people to stand behind them as they alternate. Apparently they've been practicing.
Which one's the name? My daughter's name is Ryan, so I love that.
That's a video? So we're going to be behind you. And this is really, so everybody knows that our democracy is fragile and that voting is a right, but it's a right that needs to be cherished and a right that needs to be protected at all times. So having a young generation here to read this so they know and they can tell a story to their families later on how important this is. So I know you've been practicing. Ladies, the floor is yours.
Whereas the year 2020 marks the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment of the United States Constitution.
Whereas women fought for the right to vote for more than a century and preserved it in the face of resistance, and
Whereas many New Jersey women advocated for the right to vote, and
whereas Monmouth County was the home to many suffragists, both male and female, and suffrage rallies and events occurred within Monmouth County's borders, and
whereas February 9, 2020 will mark the centennial of the New Jersey ratification of the 19th Amendment, and
whereas August 26, 2020 will mark the nationwide centennial of the 19th Amendment officially becoming part of the United States Constitution after the required numbers of states had ratified, and
whereas daughters, granddaughters, and great-granddaughters of the women who fought for the right to vote have been making their voices heard at the polls for nearly 100 years, and
whereas women are running for office and currently in elected office in large numbers in Monmouth County, following the footsteps of these great suffragists, and
whereas there are currently over 200,000 women registered to vote in Monmouth County, New Jersey, and
whereas all government entities and local and state and national level should commemorate and recognize this historic milestone and reaffirm its commitment to empowering and uplifting voices of women.
now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Fairhaven, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, do hereby
Celebrate and recognize the 100th anniversary of the passage and ratification of the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution, providing for women's suffrage, and
honor the role of the ratification of the 19th Amendment in promoting the core values of our democracy as set forth in the Constitution of the United States, and
reaffirm our desire to continue strengthening democratic participation and to inspire future generations to cherish and preserve the historic precedent established by the 19th Amendment.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
There we go. We got some suffragettes. You can hang around, you can go, whatever you choose to do. Ryan, Ella, thank you very much. You made it a special moment, and we really, truly appreciate you making the effort to practice. I can't wait to tell the superintendent what a wonderful job he did. Okay, next up on the agenda. Workshop session improvements to the Baton Road project.
Yeah, Rich Cordell is here to present to the governing body and the public on that project.
Good evening. We're here tonight, as you can see down below, there's a resolution we're seeking approval to authorize the improvements to Baton Road to go out to bid. This is an NJDOT partially funded job through local aid. We had received $350,000. It's a fiscal year 2018. So typically, the project gets awarded by the state. We get notification, we start the design process, and then we're now at the point where the final design is complete, plans and specifications, final engineer's estimate, and we are looking for authorization to bid the roadway. I left 2 sheets for each of you, 11 by 17s. Basically shows the scope of the project, limits of work. It's from River Road all the way down to just about the boat ramp. And the scope of the project was spelled out in the grant application. It includes curbing, sidewalk, ADA accessibility, ramps, some drainage improvements. We've got some drainage issues at River Road along that curb line on both the east and west side of the street. Billing and paving, some other various improvements that typically come with a road job. So once again, the grant's $350, the engineer's estimate was $375. I believe last year the money was earmarked to as part of this
Yes.
part of capital improvement. So once again, and this is something that's designed completely in-house by our department. It'll get bid, it'll get administered, it'll get inspected, and then the grants get closed out for reimbursement.
The time frame you're thinking of.
We're looking to bid this in the next couple of weeks, and then typically get a contract executed, do the pre-construction meeting with the contractor this winter, and then once the weather breaks, usually March or April, they can start mobilizing, and then we'll move on from there.
This is one of the largest NJDOT grants the borough has ever received. We're very
It's
pleased.
not matching.
And it's not, and it's minimal concrete work, which kept the cost of this project down compared to other projects where you see us spending, $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 on a road. So the grant's covering almost the entire project, or should cover close to almost the entire project. We did allocate another $25,000 from the engineer's estimate from borough funding, but that's very minimal for a project of this size.
We're by and large following the existing pavement lines.
We are doing some widening. Basically, at River Road, the street's 32 feet wide, curb to curb. Just past the fire department on the west side, there's a grade change, and the property kind of skews out into the road. We're actually looking to align that all the way to Lewis. So that'll give you a constant width of 32. But then Baton, we have enough right of way to actually go about 4 feet on the west side, which will be your left side heading towards the river, with minimal impact to any of the properties, while also maintaining the original character of the street, because that's what we're after. So that'll open that. Right now, the pavement width's 22 feet-ish. We're looking at gaining another 4, so it'll be about 26. So a much better situation.
And Rich did meet with the Fairhaven Fire Department to go over the part of the project that's adjacent to the fire company.
Is this going to be available for people doing on that road, so that road's happening?
Well, the final design we usually put up on our website.
Okay.
We've also, we've already coordinated this with the utility companies as well. So we had, the Word Company actually came in last year, and they did some service upgrades. They actually moved the fire hydrant that we knew was going to be in conflict. They put in new meters. So the residents are aware that, yes, something's coming, because that was kind of something that spearheaded it.
And
But how are we going to be alerting?
Typically, once it gets bid, we do our pre-con meeting with the contractor, and then we can actually do hand deliver notifications. And it's a typical on or about, and then we give them kind of an approximate duration. In this case, there's not a lot of concrete work. fairly quickly. If we were doing concrete work for a month, say, then we would then give them another notice, oh, we're gonna need million paving, so please don't park on the street, or, please be advised there might be some inconvenience, but this project should move along fairly quickly.
How much notification will the residents have?
Typically, it's up to the contractor to do it. It's screened
To
by...
do the
Yeah,
notification?
and that's on every job.
And is that, do we contract for that they're required to give the
Yes,
notice?
it's in the
Okay.
contract. They also do a pre-construction video, so we have evidence of the existing condition of the roadway, so if there is ever a dispute with a resident, oh, we broke a fence or something, we
Sure.
should go to the video. We also have the notices, we leave them up front, upstairs on the counter. We put it on the website, so we try to get the word.
I'd also like to have it on Facebook as well as the constant contact thing, so that everybody in town, people come in and out of that way, so.
Especially as boating season starts to ramp up. If that's.
It also
this goes
depends
into
on the
that season.
contractor. Depending on who is the lowest responsible bidder, they may have other projects in the queue.
Okay.
So they may say, well, we can't get to you till, end of April rather than mid-March. So.
Yeah, is there a way to give residents kind of a heads up now, or whenever, or when the bid is given, so that then, I know sometimes residents like to plan in conjunction with these types of things. They say like, oh, I'm gonna, instead of my regular concrete apron, this is a good time for me to do my brick apron or something like that. I don't know, sometimes residents want to do their own projects. in
We have
conjunction
done that in
with
the
this.
past. They've seen us out there, I'm walking the street, I'm talking to people.
Okay,
As people submit even zoning permits,
sure.
we
Or
write
letting
from
them
my
know.
office, say, hey, we're gonna be paving, so
Okay.
if you wanna try to,
That's
do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
My biggest concern really comes down to if there's any oil tanks, conversion to natural gas, upgrading the water service, any of the in-street utilities, because no matter what we do, we'll pave it, and 3 weeks later,
Someone
somebody's
else.
gonna say, hey, I want to go out of gas, I want to open it up. There's nothing you can do to stop that, but I think if we were to send a letter from the borough, it's
Sooner
almost.
than later.
We've gotten a few,
They've got a few?
we've gotten a few already, and they were doing a main,
The water main.
the
Yeah.
water main
Mhm.
through there, and the gas company, we've gotten a few.
Okay, so they, pretty much everybody, you think is
They-
understanding of that?
We have been coordinating that, and then we also did some milling and paving in 17 by Holly Lane, which was really bad, so we needed to buy some time. So we also communicated at that point, listen, this is just a temporary fix. We are coming in, within the next couple of years to do this roadway.
Yeah, I don't know, it's my position that a letter or something, some sort of notification wouldn't hurt. I mean, I don't know how many residents are on Baton, but at least the heads up, and then you check the box, and then you know that, hey, you want to notice,
We can certainly look at that.
Another question, I can't tell, excuse my lack of being able to read this very tiny print, are there any sidewalks being put in?
Yes. So
Okay, and
there's-
where is that?
There's existing sidewalk currently from River Road on the east side
Uh-huh,
that run maybe only 3 or 4 houses in.
yeah, I see that, yep,
None of it's ADA compliant.
okay.
A lot of it's in bad shape.
Mhm.
We're tearing all that out, putting in a continuous sidewalk from River Road all the way to Lewis Lane.
All the way to, and okay, and then it
We're
would
adding
stop.
some crosswalks, some stop bars, some ped improvements, safety improvements at that intersection.
Okay.
So
And then-
Rich,
Yeah.
thank you for doing this. I feel like this has been on the docket since I joined the council. So I'm pretty happy to see this. I spoke to some residents today. They're excited to hear that it's moving forward because they had lost the handful of folks I talked to today had lost track of whether it was happening and when it was happening. So they're excited to hear that. On one of these drawings here, it says construct tree removal as directed. Are there large trees, small trees? Can you just characterize what
So-
you're thinking about here?
Right at the firehouse property corner, at the northeast corner there of their property, in the right of way, there's some trees that are leaning, they're choked with ivy, and they're kind of jutting out over the existing that's an area that needs to be addressed. They would have showed up on our tree removal within our right-of-way list anyway, so anytime you can try to incorporate that into a project like this. And then there's some site distance issues at Lewis that we need to address. So when you come to stop, you cannot see looking north. There's a lot. We've worked with that homeowner to try to get them clean that up a little bit, but by putting in some of the curb and I'm also tightening like the radiuses at that intersection to make it a
Slow
little.
it down.
That's also going to get addressed, but that's more trimming and what have you.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I do. Where you're ending the curb and the sidewalks by Lewis Lane, was that a decision made not to continue it out to Holly Lane or out to where the ramp starts? Was that a decision based on finance or was
It was a decision we had worked with our engineering internal group early on in this process. Not only when we submitted the grant, but also during design and conceptual phase. We wanted to kind of maintain the character of the street, but widening the roadway allows for, someone to, if they have to walk along the edge of the roadway, safer than what it is now because it is very narrow. So the intent was to take it to Lewis. We actually had submitted a PED grant to the state to try to link this whole area, even all the way to Hants Road, as the sidewalks. So that's why it kind of made sense to bring it to there.
One other question. The existing sidewalk, that last house on the sidewalk, there's been some recent construction with the accessibility.
Yeah, they did a
Habitat for Humanity grant, and also the sidewalk has that ADA now.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they put that in there. We approved the structure itself at the house for the accessibility, but they did some funky concrete work there that doesn't meet ADA the way they even did it. We've talked to them so they know we're coming in to do some improvements, and we'll continue to coordinate that.
Can they keep that ramp there though? I think they can't get over the
ramp
hump
though
of
just
the-
sends them out into the road. It's not like a, we'll have to look at that.
Well, there's no driveway there too, so
Right.
I think there's an issue with
They need a curb cut.
accessibility,
Yes.
getting over the curb.
We'll rework that.
Okay, so they'll be able to keep that, they won't lose that. Thank you.
I would just add, Rich, that if/when you send out a notification, I think you should indicate that you're going to be widening the road so people know. I mean, obviously, we all know where our property ends and the road right away begins.
Sure.
But just having a heads up on that, I think will help people digest it versus coming home one day and saying, what happened to this?
Why is this state?
Why did I just lose 2 feet of pansies or something?
Yeah.
And one other question. So the paving will go all the way down to the bulkhead?
So near the boat ramp.
Right, but it will go not into the waterway, it'll stop.
I intentionally just kind of showed it where it goes because we're also, there's another project we're doing to the boat ramp. So
Right.
we envision these projects kind of marrying
Going together.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the only other question I have is projects like this, typically how much over budget do they run, if at all?
Actually, for the most part, we try to bring them in at or below.
Okay, and then
It's
do you have a, I know, I think Teresa said there was $25K borough funding contingency if we need it.
That's not a contingency, that's part of the.
Part of it, okay.
It's part of the engineer's estimate.
Okay.
350 was the grant. We
Right.
already approved the 25, or at least have it allocated in the bond ordinance. And we do have additional funding available for general road improvements if we
Okay.
ever needed to tap it.
If-
Sometimes,
okay.
something will happen in the field, we'll do a change order, something unexpected will happen in the field, that, we have to go back to the governing body.
Okay.
But most of our road projects, unless we did a change order that the governing body wanted done, like on 3rd Street when they decided to pave, from Church down and flatten that road out, that was a decision the governing body made, as part of that project.
For additional work.
Yeah, for additional work beyond the original scope.
Any more last questions?
It'll be done by the fair?
Oh, yeah.
Very
Rich,
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
very
Rich.
much. All right, motion for public comments on the agenda items?
So moved.
All right, second, we're in public comments on agenda items. Susan O'Brien? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job.
Ryan and Ally, you guys did a fantastic job. Thanks again.
I second the notification to the people on Baton Road.
Great.
And from my understanding, since the Baton Road is being widened by 4 feet, I certainly think that this should come out of the Borough Administrator's office and not be left to a contractor. They're notoriously delinquent in delivering any kind of notification, especially since 2 feet being taken and an explanation can be given ahead of time. It's
Thank you. Any other public comments on the agenda items? Susan O'Brien?
I have a question about Resolution 2020-40, where you're returning the escrow fund for the 810 River Road project. Have their light issues been resolved?
This is the planning board.
Planning
isn't it?
board escrow.
They're still on a
They're
development
still
agreement.
on, there's still
maintenance.
inspection, escrow. It only had to do with their planning board approval.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the lighting issues haven't been resolved?
I think they have, they swapped out, yeah, they've made some changes, some adjustments.
Okay.
All right. Any other? Seeing none, motion closed.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the approval minutes of December 16th.
We're going to carry December 16th because only one of you were here. Is that right, Allison?
Yes.
Right.
Right,
Okay,
so
so
there's no
we're-
one to second it.
We'll hold that till February 12th.
Holding that to February 12th. January 6, 2020 reorganization meeting and the January 6, 2020 executive session. Motion to offer.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmembers Chris McKee,
Yes.
Koch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Sorensen.
Yes.
Okay, the minutes of the January 13, 2020 special meeting. Motion to offer.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmembers Chris McKee,
Yes.
Koch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Sorensen.
Yes.
Okay, January 13, 2020 executive session. Motion to offer.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Councilmembers Koch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Sorensen.
Yes.
Okay, we have no old business, new business consent agenda resolutions 2020-36 and 2020-53.
You have an amended 50 at the dais, and 53 was added after the
So,
agenda.
then 50, Port Environmental Commission, alternate number 2 member Brian Rice, and 53, appointment to the Fairhaven Natural Fields Area Advisory Committee, Jennifer Spitz. Motion offer.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Point of information.
Okay, well, hold on.
Okay.
So we got first and second
Okay.
discussion.
Discussion. No, we can move for discussion.
No, you can just,
We can.
No.
Okay.
motion's on.
Motion's on.
Motion's on.
Okay, page 7 of the payment of vouchers. Coded Systems 2018 codification. Someone tell me what that is?
Yeah, ordinances, all that are adopted that go into the book.
That pays for someone to create the book or what?
We have a contract, Coded Systems, who handles our codification. I send all our ordinances, and then they interweave them onto our website,
Okay.
as well as we get supplements that update our code.
So is that only with respect to any amendments that were made in 2018, or that's every ordinance that's ever?
It's 2018,
On the
whatever's been
purpose.
put.
And
Just
that's
that
new
year.
20?
Just that year, yeah.
Okay.
And then we do recodification every year.
Last one was 2009.
So we did last one in 2009, so we're probably
I see.
getting fairly close to the middle.
This was 20, okay, so prior to 2018, the most recent one was 2009.
But the-
No.
No,
every year.
the entire book
Every
was
year you do
re,
Which
Package.
recap.
As one book, okay.
They re-reviewed by all departments, it's whole process.
Send all the, it takes time.
Okay, but so with the 28, I'm sorry, I'm just making sure that's fair. 2018 was just the standard, whatever happened in 2018 was
Correct.
put into supplements in place on the website, and the supplement was printed. When we do the whole new package, I'm assuming, I shouldn't assume, is that more than $5,000? It's a different
Oh, yes.
price?
Significant.
Okay.
More.
And will we be doing a 2019 codification?
I've sent everything to them. It
Okay.
takes time. I followed up with them, but we probably won't get it until April, May.
And it's a new company.
Is it right?
Code
They
Systems merged with General
with
Code.
General Code.
Allison keeps on top of that.
Code system, general code. Okay.
They worked really hard on that.
Yes, that was my only question. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. We ready for a vote? Roll call?
Council members Chris Keith,
Yes.
Koch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Sorensen.
Yes.
Okay, department reports, December 2019, municipal clerk, dog license, police department, planning board and zoning board, tax collector, the 2019 year-end, municipal clerk and municipal court. Motion to accept the reports as submitted.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're all good. Go to the borough, motion open.
So moved.
Okay, go to the borough. Anybody have anything to go to the borough? Seeing none, motion closed.
Sorry, Mariah. Hello, good evening. Tracy Cole, 123 Grange Ave. Happy New Year, some of you I haven't seen. I did see one thing that I wanted to ask about. It's on the consent agenda this evening, and we're going to go into executive session. And the resolution indicates we're going to discuss pending litigation. And there's an item at the bottom that has to do with a potential property acquisition or discussion about acquisition of property on River Road. So I was wondering what you might be able to share about that at this point.
I'll take that. The borough's, original ordinance that we passed that was in the fair share plan gave block and lots of public properties that were under consideration when we did a capital ordinance for possible purchase. And it's been an ongoing discussion about properties within those block and lots that the borough may or may not purchase.
Does this have to do, is this to sort of advance the goals of the borough facilities plan?
Yes,
Oh,
it's tied to that.
And
And that original capital ordinance was probably, don't quote me on this, probably 2 years ago or so, with lots of.
So this is
things laid
a
out.
separate consideration, that does everything to do with advancing the goals of the affordable housing?
No.
Nothing
No.
about fair share housing? So
No.
this has to do with the borough facilities? Understood. And I'm sorry I came late, guys, covered a lot of ground in a short time. But did you just vote to send the book out for recodification?
No,
Oh,
just
that's
the annual update that's done with all the new ordinances that are
So everything from
from 2018.
It was actually from 18.
From 2018
We're paying the
and
bill.
2019?
No.
No, 19 is pending. They had it. Allison stays on top of all that.
It took a while to get them to sign the voucher on 2018.
And the company is who?
Coded Systems did that. They merged the middle of last year with General Code. So General Code will be our next supplement.
Okay, are they based out of New Jersey?
They have various, but yeah, I believe they're northern.
Okay, thank you.
Any other go to the borough? Seeing none, motion closed.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we will now be going into executive session. Action will not be taken, and thank you all for coming. Greatly appreciate it.
Eat my hat.
Drum roll.
All right, definitely.
That's a bad shake.
That's
Yeah.
There's nobody here.
Oh,
man!
Break us.
Motion adjourned.
Damn.
Thank you for letting me vent.
Anytime. Get used to it. When you get there, you'll find yourself.
Bang your head on a brick wall for a long time.
That's a good thing.
tickets, any chance for Ben was a couple tickets.
I'll write it down. I'll let you know, I'll let you guys know tomorrow. I have no idea.
But I think Tracy Cole is going to take room as far as the crazy zone.
I don't.
So executive session, what are you going to be discussing tonight? I don't know, Tracy.
Is that your jug right there?
That is my jug, thank you.
Your stainless thing, what would be?